Welcome back, horror fans, to another horror movie related video. It's been a long time. It's been at least a few months. It's good to be back on YouTube making YouTube videos. Again, the reason why I've been delaying YouTube videos, the reason why I haven't had a lot of movie reviews, I haven't had my top 10 best and top 10 worst movies of 2018 out yet is because I'm working on a movie right now, and I'm busy with marketing it, and like movies that they take up a lot of your time. Ever since today's New Year's Eve, Happy New Year, people! Get to start a new year fresh, like new content, new short films coming out by me. But yeah, January 6th is the release of The Stalker unrated extended cut. Like, there's more action, more violence, more blood, and more Stalker than you'll ever get. So I cannot wait to bring out that to you guys. January 6th, it will be on YouTube, and it's gonna be awesome. I cannot wait to show you it. It's pretty damn great. But anyways, yeah, today's video, because since I have a bit of spare time today, I want to make this video. I'm hoping to get this video out by tonight. Like, I'm hoping to get it out before New Year's Day tonight. But anyways, let's get right into the video. This is going to be my top 10 best horror movies of 2018. Top 10 best horror movies of 2018. Let's get right into it. So coming in at number 10 is Terrifier. This is a really fun clown movie. Art, I found him just a very interesting character because he's one of those silent killers, and that was one thing that was Art was a very debatable character when this movie first came out. Like, Terrifier, you can say this movie is a 2017 release, but I think people really started talking about it in 2018, so that's why I'm putting it on this list, is because I watched it in 2018 and then started to get like a little buzz in 2018. So yeah, why not put it in the top 10 best horror movies of 2018 list? Because it's a 2018 release. That's when people really started talking about it. There are some people talking about it in 2017 at the end of the year, but yeah, I watched it in 2018, so yeah, why not? But yeah, Art, he's one of those silent killers because I don't think I don't think he ever spoke in the movie. No, he's really like a silent killer, and that's one thing I think that separates Art from like Pennywise, because Pennywise, like a talkative clown. He's the one who likes to play with. Well, he's the one who likes to tour with his victims before eating them for lunch, because he's the one because he plays with their fear, and that's what gets Pennywise closer to his victims. So he has to really play with their fear, which requires like a lot of like connection with those characters. And that's one thing of what like it 2017 did very well, is really knowing the characters' fears. Just really developing Pennywise as a character, was knowing all of these kids' fear. That's one thing I felt like it did. That's what separates Terrifier from it, because like, he's a silent killer. He doesn't speak. He's not a normal clown. Because when you think of clown, you think of like, oh, happy and playing with kids, and like, oh, do you want to see a trick? Like the whole normal clown shit. Okay. um, but yeah, I mean, I think it's very interesting. Like, he's a silent killer, and when I think clown, I never think of a clown as a silent killer, but I thought the director did a great job, like, executing as this like silent killer, because I did not know how they were going to develop Art as a silent killer, because usually you need to know like the connection between Art and this group of girls that he's up against in the movie. But yeah, I thought they did a great job with Art, making him separate from from Pennywise. And I feel like when people really started getting scared of clowns was in the 80s, when John Wayne Gacy was so worldwide, and it was like, oh, John Wayne Gacy's in jail. John Wayne Gacy has raped and murdered this group of kids. Like, when that was all happening in the 80s, I feel like adults woke up and they're like, oh shit, John Wayne Gacy. Clowns can actually get to kids by pretending to be nice when they're really rapists and murderers. Just to dress up as a clown, like, you think, like, it's an innocent clown, my kid will be fine. But no. But like, that's one thing I felt like it and her, for like, that's why I feel like those movies like illustrate so well. But yeah, I feel like that's when adults really started to wake up, is when John Wayne Gacy started raping and murdering him. But that was in the 80s. The guy's in jail now, I think. But anyways, yeah, I feel like this Terrified is a very different kind of movie to what we're used to seeing, and I've got to give props just to Art, to what the director and just how the director executed Art as a character and how he developed his connection with this group of girls that we're with in the movie. And as far as our main characters, I feel like first time I watched it, I didn't like the main characters. The second time, I was I was very loosely attached to them. I was just like, yeah, you can still die now. So it was just kind of like it's kind of like a hit or miss for me. Those characters. I mean, like when I think of like clown movie, my brain will not immediately go to Terrifier for like main lead characters, but because my when I think of main lead characters for a clown movie, I think of it. I think of like Finn Wolfhard and just his group of kids because their chemistry was so damn powerful and you learnt about them. But these characters, I feel like they were just kind of dicks, really. But anyways, yeah, that's why Terrifier is number 10. So coming in at number 9 is Cam. This is a very recent Netflix movie. It's only only hit Netflix like last month. It's a very recent Netflix horror movie. And Netflix is done just getting into that horror tone now. The starting to release horror movies like left and right now. Like this year they've released The Open House, Cam, and May the Devil Be With You, I think it's called. But yeah, Cam, I mean this movie, it plays with social media and it plays with like online and how dangerous it can be and how dangerous not only like the open world is, but how dangerous like on the internet could be, because if you give your details to someone, they can basically do anything. And we live in a world where hacking, cyberbullying is a thing. I feel like this movie, it illustrates that all so well, and I felt like the third act in this movie is great. And this movie is intense. It has some really intense sequences, like that opening scene when she's about to cut her throat. Oh man, I was just like, no, no, no! Don't tell me this is going to. Don't tell me this is going to do like the. Don't tell me this is going to do the scream thing where they kill off a character when she's not really a main character, but you think she's a main character, so like kind of the scream thing, but then realize that she's the main character. It's like a very cool opening scene, a very like tension filled opening scene. I feel like I really step into the entire movie, but just like the whole style and tone of Cam Girls and just playing with like it really plays with like it really plays with like pornography and how much that can take over our lives as well. Because now since we know we live in a world with Pornhub XX videos, and we live in a world with a lot of porn sites. And I feel like this movie it illustrates cyberbullying in a very powerful statement, and it illustrates how bad pornography can get, and if you really get too attached to it, what can happen to our lives and what's really important to us. And I feel like the movie actually had a couple of really great messages in it, along with terrific characters, terrific, masterful performance. Like our main lead in this, like damn, she's a really great actor in this. Like her performance is just so tension filled, and right from that opening scene, you're on her side. And I can't say that about a lot of other characters. And this was one I had no interest in watching it, but at the same time I was interested by the concept. I did a review of it. If you want to go check it out, link in the description to any reviews that I did on these movies. But yeah, I saw a couple of details on Twitter. I saw like the poster drop. I never saw the trailer, so I kind of went into this like open-minded, and I was just like, after watching it, I was just like, wow, I've got to watch that again. But yeah, this movie was just so good. It had some great messages, great performances, great main characters. Like right from the opening scene, you are attached to our main character. So yeah, I mean this is a great movie. So yeah, that's why Cam is number 9. So coming in at number 8 is another Netflix movie, The Ritual. This is a movie like I always love these kind of movies that take place cabin in the woods type style, because it's about this group of guys I think that they've lost one friend and they're in the woods looking for him, and along the way all this weird shit starts happening. Like there's a weird like goat type creature that shows up in the third act, and like the whole style of this cabin in the woods. Like this movie made me scared of trees, and it's like because it's very hard to describe right now, but I actually did a review of this movie for my 31 Days of Halloween, and I said I really enjoyed it. But yeah, just like the whole setting, it's all just like so dark and just what it does the color tone for when they were in the woods compared to when they were like in a cabin. But just always love those kind of movies that take place cabin in the woods. So like Edward End for example. I always love these kinds of movies, and this movie it definitely gave me a couple of shivers up my spine as well. But that third act, holy shit, this movie just keeps on building and just whining and whining and whining that tension and suspense up until that third act when we get to see what's killing each of these characters off one by one. We get to see what's eating them. It's actually like a very as I'm editing this video now, there are just a couple of things I forgot to mention compared to when I was recording this video before. But it's also just the characters and their interactions and what they have in common, and their relationship with each other, which makes these characters so memorable. When and they have a great bond with each other, and it's also just their acting, like their performances. Like when you start off, I mean, their performances is good, but just the way like their performances like progress throughout this story. That's another really big positive of this movie is the story, but just with the acting, it's like by the end these guys like it's just like you can just tell like they're so trying and they're so into that character. You can just tell that they're so fed up with and they're so like stressful like about like it doesn't matter what direction like they go, it always leads them to a dead end. It's like by the end of this story, that's like another really big positive of this movie is the story. Is because like as the story like progresses, like when the story like begins, like they're all friends and they're all getting and they're all like they have a bond going on, and they're all like good mates, just having a good time, just like walking through nature and all that, going for a walk in the forest like normal friends would. But then by the end of this story, everybody's going their opposite ways. Everybody's like, nope, nope, I can't trust you. I'm doing this by myself. No, screw you. No, I'm going my own way. I don't need you guys to get me out of here. I can do this myself. Like they're all going their opposite ways, and it's like there's that point in that movie where it's just like there's that trick. It tricks your brain. It's like from when they are. It's like this movie. There's 3 different stages. It's like from when they begin, they're friends, and then there's all different points to these characters. And that's what makes these characters is when they're getting attacked by this creature, and they're all getting attacked by this creature in this forest. It affects you, and I think that's what makes these characters just like so important. And these characters are just that's what makes these characters like so strong. And that's what makes you root for them, is because like there's different stages for them, and you can just put your head in their situation, and you can just be like, yeah, yep, I would be that way as well. I would be like, yeah, like my brain would not be functioning properly. I would be like, nope, I have to get out of here. I want to get out of here. I have a family out there. I have to get to my family, and yeah, I would probably do that as well. I would go my opposite way because my brain would not be functioning correctly at that time because these guys would be dehydrated and they would be just completely lost because they've been walking for hours and hours on end. It's just like it's different stages for these characters. It's just so powerful. Like that second act when they start breaking up with each other and they're all like, oh, I'm going my opposite way, and it's at that point. It's just that's the point where this movie just gets serious. As a man, this movie, there is a serious part in this movie that's just it's like just the way this movie is just like written, just the way the way the story's told, the way it seems this craft, this movie is just brilliant. I think that's why it definitely it deserves to be on this list. It's on Netflix if you want to check it out. But yeah, there's more to this movie. If you are a person who analyzes movies like me, like I don't just watch movies for entertainment. I like to analyze movies, and I feel like I've really analyzed this movie to the fault. and it's definitely deserves to be on the top 10 best horror movies of 2018. I cannot wait to check this one out on Netflix. But The Ritual is number 8. Let's go on to number 7, and number 7 is The Nun. This is going to be a movie that is going to surprise a lot of people because critics, audiences, and just normal movie reviewers hated this movie. That was smashing this movie. And this is like the sixth Conjuring movie. We've had Annabelle Creation. Then we've had the 2 Conjuring movies. I think that's 4. So yeah, this is the 5th Conjuring movie in the Conjuring universe. And I cannot wait to see what else the Conjuring movie does because I was excited for a Nun origin story. I felt like the way they executed the origin story of the Nun, they did it in a really interesting way. And it's like the whole setting. This movie was actually shot in a real castle in Transylvania, and I really like the whole setting of the castle. It just looks so it just looks so abandoned, forbidden, and just old. It looks like there are actually ghosts living in there, and it looks like there are actually creepy ass nuns living in there. It's just the whole atmosphere, the way just the music comes into the scene. It's just so scary. I think the atmosphere was probably the biggest scare for me in this movie. Was just the whole atmosphere. It just gave me shivers up my spine. Because there's one scene, there's this graveyard scene. It's set at night. And that whole scene, those shivers, the shivers kept on building up my body. That graveyard scene. Oh, that was some scary shit right there. But yeah, I guess the biggest disappointment for me with this movie is you don't get to see the nun. But what you've got to understand, this is an origin story. There's got to be a build-up, a setup to when this nun does officially, just break and just go into hell. She's this demonic nun. But that third act, it is one of the best third acts I have seen in a Conjuring movie yet. In the third act, that's when you get to see the full demonic nun. But when her death in this movie is just so damn satisfying. Apparently, she all her flesh starts ripping off her body, then she gets sent back to hell. I felt just that whole scene. I loved it, and I felt the performances, especially by the priest, our main character that we are following. I felt the performance, I think overall did up. I felt they did a great job there, especially the priest, our main character. I was on their side. The priest, he was great, and I think our main character, I actually did get on my nose a couple times, but there is one dickhead character in the movie that really bothered me because he's kind of that character goes hello, and yeah, he's kind of like that character. I don't know his name. I'll put his name down there, or I'll put a picture of him right there if I can find one online. But yeah, I think this is going to be a movie that surprised a lot of people. It's actually on my list. I find this movie. It's not one of those movies that when I go home at night, I walk down my hallway, I'll see that nun, or I'll hear the sound of a creaking door or anything. It's not that kind of movie. When I went home from this movie, I could easily walk down my hallway 12 o'clock at night with the lights off and not be afraid of anything. It's just while I was watching it, I got shivers. But it's not like that translates from real life for me, but because some movies nowadays they just don't scare me. I mean, they scare me when I'm watching it. It depends what movie I'm watching. Slashes and just some movies nowadays, it's the same thing over and over again. Jump scare, jump scare, jump scare, jump scare. Blah, blah, blah. It's basically that for an hour and a half. For every horror movie nowadays, of this movie was different with the story was also really good, along with how many characters, the performances, and probably one of the best third acts ever. Just that whole death is just it's executed so well. It's that whole war sequence in the third act. It's just great. And in the scene when the demonic nun is getting sent back to hell and her flesh starts ripping off her body and she gets sent back to hell and sets up for Annabelle Creation. I think Annabelle Creation is actually the next movie in the Conjuring timeline. I think this movie comes first, and Nun. Then it's Annabelle Creation. So this movie I think sets up for Annabelle Creation in a way. I think so. Yeah. Then after I think it's Annabelle, or could be the first Conjuring after I don't exactly like my brain's kind of a little messed up on the Conjuring timeline stuff, but I think that's how it goes. I know Annabelle Creation is next because I know the Conjuring events happened in like the 70s and all that. So yeah, I know, yeah, Annabelle Creation came next after this movie. So this movie kind of sets up for it. But yeah, no, this is just, I don't want to talk about this movie for a long time. But yeah, this is just, there's a lot of movies on this list that's going to surprise the movie. There's a movie coming up soon that critics hate as well. But what you got to know is this is just my opinion. These are movies because everybody has different perspectives on how they see movies. Everybody goes into movies with different expectations. That's what keeps everybody unique in our world. Is everybody's different. Everybody has different taste of horror. Everybody has different taste of film that they like, and you just got to accept that. It's like opinions. Every opinion is valid. That's why The Nun is number 7. So coming in at number 6 is Overlord. This is not just a great Nazi zombie movie, because this movie's not just Nazi zombie movies. It's a World War movie as well. And there's some real tension-filled scenes where you just have to hold on to your seat. You just have to wait a couple minutes until that scene is just keeps it just on the edge of your seat. You just feel that tension, and you just feel what they're going through. This is a great, effective World War II movie. But along with like the whole Nazi zombies, like you get to see different sides of zombies. You get to see Nazi zombies. Yeah, that's where we're at in our world now, people. Nazi zombies, and I always put one of the best elements of this movie. I love zombie movies. 28 Days Later, 28 Weeks Later, Dawn of the Dead. Zack Snyder's Dawn of the Dead. That's a great remake. So, I mean, I love zombie movies. World War Z, perfect zombie movies. I mean, I'm kind of a psycho when it comes to zombie movies and slasher. Slasher is my favorite genre. So, but zombie movies I also love. And overall, it's not just a Nazi zombie movie. There's more to it. This movie actually has great characters along with great performances. I felt like the main characters. I felt like they had the correct facial expressions. They had a great performance to really make you root for them. And these are not just throwaway characters. This is not just like another like movie where because if you watch a trailer, it kind of sets itself up to be dumb fun, and those dumb fun moments are definitely in here. And this movie is also pretty violent as well, and I think it definitely deserves the R rating because there's definitely some pretty rough stuff in this movie, some pretty violent stuff. So if you don't like seeing blood or anything like that, this movie is not for you. But yeah, this is not just a Nazi zombie movie. It's not just a World War II movie. It's also a character-driven movie. Like that's the whole story. It's a character-driven, like story. Because you're with these guys for the majority of the movie, and it really builds them up. And you see these two, you get to see the relationship with each other. You get to learn so much about his character, and that's why they're not just throwaway characters. And I felt like this movie could be more dumb fun than it was, but just seeing how this movie really it shows a different side of zombies. It sees Nazi zombies, and there is actually like an asylum movie called Nazis to the Middle of the Earth or some shit. It's by the Asylum. The Asylum, right? The studio who did Sharknado, the Mega Shark films, yeah, all of them. There was like there's actually a film that came out on the exact day, the exact release of Overlord called Nazi Overlord. So I never watched it because I followed this on Twitter and I saw that just pop up. But there's also a movie I think came out in 2013 called The Nazis to the Center of the Earth, and that's mm, yeah, that's yeah. But this movie is just I don't know where my brain's at. It's like there's multiple zombie movies going through my brain right now. But yeah, Overlord, yeah, it's a great movie, and that's why it's number 6. So coming in at number 5, we're on our top 5 now. Also, yeah, just before I continue on, I just want to tell you that all these movies on this list, they are in no particular order. Like all these movies I probably love about equally, and I did not know where to put them. I was just like, oh, do I want to put like do I want to put like Cam there? Do I want to put like a Nun right there? Do I want to put Overlord at number 9? I did not know, but I tried to figure of which one the rewatchability is an important factor to me. If it's rewatchable, and that's why I put Overlord and the Nun at number 6 and 7, is because I feel like those movies are very rewatchable to me. I feel like I'll go back and rewatch the Nun. I also feel like Colin Hardy. I feel like his direction was also really good. So yeah, I don't understand the hate for the Nun, but yeah, I just wanted to. I thought that would be a perfect like fact of this video, just to quickly pop in that little bit of information about Overlord and the Nun. So anyways, yeah, coming in at number 5 is Leprechaun Returns. And this is like the long-awaited sequel leading up to the first movie, Leprechaun Returns. And this movie is, in my mind, one of the best horror sequels ever made, along with A Nightmare on Elm Street 3, Dream Warriors. This is definitely up there as one of the best horror sequels to me. When I watched this, I was just so impressed with the depths, with the characters, and just how this movie, and just how this is, and just how this takes place after the first one. It actually does have a connection to the first one, because if you've seen the first one, you know the ending to it, because we know where the leprechaun is now. He's down the well, and it's like, and these what happens? It's like these college girls, that want to start a society, and they go to this house that was in the first movie, and what they don't know is they have awoken an evil like none before, the leprechaun, and then the leprechaun starts killing them off one by one. So it's one of those movies where the main like villain kills each character off one by one, and the deaths in this are absolutely terrific, and also I love the makeup on like the leprechaun. I feel like the makeup artist, he outdid himself with the makeup and just the deaths. They are just so like this scene when like I think it's like a brick on the roof or something, it slides down, it cuts someone in half. That was a great, brilliant, terrific death. But this movie had some great deaths. The characters I thought were pretty likable, and just the first couple minutes, like right from the opening scene, you are in this movie. Like if you are a fan of the Leprechaun, if you are a fan of the first Leprechaun movie at least, this movie is not going to disappoint. This movie just gives you more. This is a great sequel, one of the best sequels, one of the best horror sequels, I should say, that I've seen. And it's just like I feel like it embraces who the Leprechaun is. Like you don't go to Leprechaun movies expecting like a scary movie. You go to it expecting a cheese fest, and you know like the Leprechaun, you know, like he gives those cheesy lines, and there's even an Easter egg in this to Evil Dead 2 as well, and you'll notice when I'm talking about it. It's at the end of the movie, and you'll know the scene in Evil Dead 2, and you know if you've seen Leprechaun Returns, you know the scene I'm talking about. And this is I watched. I was just so it was such a breath of fresh air. I was like, wow, that is one of the greatest horror sequels ever. It was just such a breath. It was such a breath of fresh air. I felt like the director did a great job directing, really crafting this movie, and really like making scenes flow well. I think that's actually props to the editor right there and the makeup artist. And what he did a great job on really making the leprechaun really come to life in this, and making the makeup look as good as it can possibly look. Like I like the CGI special effects. I felt like they were fine. In the deaths, you can tell that they are CG, and this movie is also just very funny as well. It's because like so, you don't go to the economy expecting gore like a gore fest, and this movie even references a little thing about gore as well. Is no, we go to horror movies to watch gore. Yeah, that's right, a gore fest, like so Hostel. He said something like that along those lines. I do not exactly remember, but it was in the trailer as well. But yeah, that's why Leprechaun is on this list, because it was such like a breath of fresh air for me. So Yeah, that's why Leprechaun Returns is number 5. Okay, so coming in at number 4 is, this is going to be an obvious one to a lot of people, Hereditary. What do I have to say about this? This is such a scary, unsettling movie. Like, do not read the plot of this movie if you have not seen it. Don't read the plot. Don't watch the trailers. Just go watch it and just be scared for life. This movie is actually terrifying. It was something I was just gripping on my chin. I could just not let go for an hour and a half. I could not let go. I was just so like on the edge of my seat. It's such a strange, but such a breath of fresh air to the whole genre. This movie has very likable characters, great performances from everyone. This is kind of like, these are the type of movies that I love. I love all these psychological horror movies. So maybe The Babadook, which, as for right now, is my number one favorite horror movie of all time. That movie just scares the living shit out of me. This movie is definitely up there as well. So it's kind of like that. It's kind of like a movie. It's kind of like an insane story. It's like you get to see the mother from where she is right now, progress through her life, and you get to see her go more insane, and you feel like she's just gonna snap at any time. I feel like that's what made this movie so great. It's the story, the characters, the performances, and just how intense it is. Like that, there is some very tension-filled scenes in this movie that you just have to grip onto your chin and just cannot let go. Okay, so yeah, that's why Hereditary is number 4. So coming in at number 3 is A Quiet Place. Now we're getting into the good stuff right now. A Quiet Place. I had a very weird experience. I did a review for this movie, and it was such a weird experience. I was just like, because with me, I had like a chips or something, and I was just sitting there, and like from the moment the movie started, this is how immersive this movie is. This is how effective this movie is. Is from the moment it started, like I wanted to eat my chips, but I was just like, no, I don't want to move. I don't want to move. I don't want to touch anything. Because this movie is so god to me. Like I was so like, I was in this position. Like I did not want to move. I was just like, help me! I want to get out of this position. Cause like, and then after the movie, cause I wanted to talk so badly, and like I did not want to talk. I did not want to move. I did not even want to eat my chip. I did not want to like hear like that rapid sound because I knew one of those monsters was gonna go running for my door and kill me. That's how effective. This is how much I've got to me in my brain. It was such a great experience. For one of the best experiences I've had this year with a movie. It shut me up for the whole hour and a half that this movie was. It was just such, and that's thanks to a lot of great stuff, a great story, a great chemistry. And this movie does chemistry in a very different way to a lot of other horror movies as well. It's because ever since the characters can't talk, it's going to be hard for them, like for their chemistry to be built, for them to connect with each other. Instead, like they use human emotions, they use sign language to communicate. I think that's a great way to really do chemistry and just the characters. I thought like the way they would direct without talking was absolutely terrific, and there were some pretty also intense scenes. And the creatures in this movie, they are terrifying, like hands down, terrifying. It's like you don't want to speak. Like they live in this like post-apocalyptic world where they can't speak. If they speak, these creatures come running after you and they'll kill you instantaneously. And that's what's just so scary about these creatures, because if you make a sound, you know something's watching you, and you know it's gonna come for you. Just, oh, this movie got to me, and it has to be at number 3 on this list. I feel like I should put it in the top 2, but I have another 2 movies that I love them more on this list. But A Quiet Place is probably one of the most effective movies I've seen this year. That really just shut me up. I did not want to move. I did not want to speak. I did not want to touch my chips. And then after this movie, I went outside and I screamed. I don't care if anybody was around. I screamed at the top of my lungs because I just had to talk. I had to get that, that talkative side out out of me, and I felt like Scream would really do it. And it was such like, oh my god, it was one of the most weirdest experiences. But yeah, like John Krasinski, great director, great actor in this movie. Emily Blunt and the two kids, terrific performances. Emily Blunt, damn girl, you were outstanding in this movie. John Krasinski for being in like one of our like the main father of this movie and being the director and the writer. He did a terrific job in this movie, really directing and crafting scenes along with acting in it. That's like next level shit for you, man. So yeah, great job there. But yeah, after this movie, I just still went outside and screamed at the top of my lungs because for a whole hour and a half, I wanted to talk. And I just had to get it out, so I went outside and just screamed at the top of my lungs. That's how much this movie got to me. And it's an experience that I won't forget this year. It's sad 2018 is coming to an end. I cannot wait to see a sequel for this. Because I think for now, I think John Krasinski is signed on to direct the sequel from what I've heard. So yeah, I cannot wait to see what else, how John Krasinski continues to tell the story of Emily Blunt and her kids. Because now that spoilers, now that John Krasinski is dead because he died at the end of this movie because he was trying to save his, like, that was a very bad sacrifice. And I seen when that happened, I was just like, no. Oh, it's just like, oh man, I can see, like, the whole movie just got to me. Oh my god. But yeah, this movie, yeah, Quiet Place, terrific. It definitely deserves, after what happened to me in the experience and how much, just how different and just how much of a breath of fresh air A Quiet Place is. This is a movie I definitely have to buy on DVD, man. This is a must own. If there was any movie I was a must own, Quiet Place is that. Okay, so we are on the last two, my top two favourite movies of 2018. So let's get right into number two. Number two is The Strangers Play at Night. And this was another movie that a lot of people like hated, like audiences, critics hated. And I was just like, when I watched it, I was just like, yeah, this is one of the greatest horror movies, one of the best horror slasher sequels I've seen in a damn long time. This movie was a great continuation of the first movie because it takes more in modern time, like it's social media and this movie, just the whole setting of. And I think one thing I love about a sequel so much is with the first Strangers, it's a pure home invasion movie. It takes place. It's a one location movie, but with this sequel, it's more spread out. And this movie has one of the best third acts. And when that third act happened, this is gonna be one of my favorite like third acts from years to come from now. It was such a sad third act from just see to I don't want to really spoil it. This is movie I want you guys to just go watch. I want you to have that same just like holy shit reaction. That's like the whole wow reaction that I had in that end. But that end I was just like, oh shit, that actually went balls to the wall with that. Like that is how you make a third act. That's how a third act is done, people. This is just like in my god, like the strangers go through a lot in this movie as well. Like I can't remember that, but yeah, like the strangers they get put through a lot, and yeah, there's some really intense scenes in this. One of my favorite scenes in this movie is the pool scene because it's lit very well. It's a very intense scene because, and you can just imagine yourself in that situation, in that sense. Like the director really he illustrated that scene in a very great way to audiences to know how that would feel just seeing it laying in a pool, just drowned to death after getting stabbed in the back. Like, ugh, man, this is a great sequel. But man, that's how you do a third act. That's how you get a third act. That's how a third act should be executed. That's how a third act should be written. And also, I even own The Strangers Play at Night on DVD. Here it is, The Strangers Play at Night. So this is how much I freaking love this movie. I even own on DVD. And just, man, just like, and the characters in this are also really great as well. Like the two main like teenagers that you're with throughout this movie. like up until their deaths. Well, there's actually one teenager that does die. I don't want to tell you because I don't want to spoil it. But because it's a slasher movie, so people do die. So yeah, I'm not really giving any spoilers. I'm just saying one teenager does die. There's two of them, but one dies. I'm not saying who, so that's not a spoiler. But yeah, that's how much I love this movie. So I even own it on DVD. Yeah, this movie is also based on very loosely but true events. I don't know what events it's based on, but yeah, this is a terrific sequel, man. When I watched it, it was like there's just so much great. This is an improvement over the first movie. Like the first movie, I don't even really love that much, but this sequel, like it's more spread out in location. It's more lit, there's more colour, there's more scenery to look at. You have interesting characters. It doesn't do every horror movie cliche. And there's some really violent deaths. This movie's a very bloody, very gory. If you are like a gore hound, this movie is up there. This movie has a lot of gore in it, especially with the deaths. The deaths are very in your face. Just like there's one scene when like these were like I can't say, but this movie is so hard to talk about without spoiling. Spoilers. I have to talk about this. But yeah, just like the father's death. That's probably one of the most gruesome deaths. I was just like, oh my god. But yeah, this movie also goes full blown 80s as well. This movie it's very 80s shot, very 80s tone. It has a whole like 80s zoom ins, a whole just it's like the 80s music, and it plays 80s music in intense scenes. So I think like they're trying to embrace the whole 80s because this year, like there was a time when 80s nostalgia was a thing this year, and this was when this movie came up. This movie just embraced it. There's a whole 80s zoom ins. There's a whole like 80s corny lines. There's a whole just a whole movie. It's like the whole 80s slasher nostalgia thing that they were doing for this movie. It did it so well. I think that's what made this movie so great. It's just the 80s, because I think I love the 80s horror movies. You know, I'm not going to Elm Street, Friday the 13th, Hellraiser, all really great horror movies from the 80s. Hell Night, Fright Night as well. That's also a really good one. I think another really underrated slasher from the 80s is the Mutilator. But yes, back to the Stranger Things Nights. What a terrific sequel, man. But yeah, man, like there was so much greatness, and that's on my for sure top 5 best horror movie sequels ever made, along with A Nightmare on Elm Street 3, Dream Warriors, Aliens, Leprechaun Returns is also definitely up there. But I've got to say this is probably in the top 2. Probably this is in the top 2. That's how much I have loved this movie, and definitely deserves to be on this list. Like if you hate it, I mean that's perfectly fine. I think it's because I'm a sucker for slasher movies. But yeah, anyways, let's go on to number 1. So my number 1 favorite horror movie of 2018. This is not going to surprise a lot of people. Is The Stalker. And I feel like I'm kind of cheating with this one a little bit because I'm the director, writer, and producer of The Stalker. So I feel like I'm kind of cheating with this, but at the same time, this definitely deserves to be on this list. Like, there's just so much greatness to be had, such an awesome movie experience to be had with The Stalker. Like, it's just, like, this is like what I want. When I watch slasher, this is what I want. I love those one location shot movies. Like for example, like The Ruins and The Shallows. These are very like tension filled and very suspenseful one location movies. And just like I love slasher movies. I mean I love slasher. There's different kinds of horror, but if I had to choose a subgenre, horror is that for me. I want to embrace like the 80s feel, like the Stalker so I feel like what made this movie 80s is just the whole slasher feel. I want to really embrace it with just like with some horror movie like 80s horror movie like music, 80s horror movie tone. And also I think another thing that makes this movie great is the performances. Like Isaac, man, this guy's frightening as hell, man. Like when we were shooting his scenes, we were just like, holy shit, this guy's an absolute beast, and this is the guy who I want to play Stalker, and this is how I want him portrayed. Because like Isaac, I mean, he was just such a terrific actor as the Stalker, man. I mean, he was so scary and wishing he said. I was just so like, wow, 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 man, wow. This is this is such a, oh my god. Like, I think for first time acting for him, he did a terrific job. I feel like Slasher, I feel like he owns his character. The Stalker is his character. Like, no one else can pull off what Isaac did. What he gave, just like the way he delivered his lines, to the way he just walked and stalked me and just stalked like the whole this house. Because like one thing I want to do is I want to make sure that like that even though Stalker's not in the scene, I want to make sure they can feel his presence. I feel like I want to make it sure that you feel like that Stalker's always watching you. I want to make sure that, but along with that, I also want to make like the color tone, like the color tone come into frame. I want to really make that was a big part of this movie, along with like the music. I want it to be a very tension-filled movie. From the moment it starts, when you'd be gripping onto your seat, it would not be able to let go until the end. I feel like that's one thing it did well, and I feel like the jump scares are very effective from the way the movie's built up, from the very first tone of music, because the music is kind of like it's very low beat when it first starts, but then it just gets more intense, and more intense until the final note. It just gets more intense each time a set of music plays. But yeah, Isaac, I mean, just the Stalker as a character is just very damn terrifying. But I also think that's a terrific performance by Isaac. I feel like the way he delivered his lines, and you feel his presence throughout this movie. Even though he's not in the scene, you feel his presence. You feel like he is always watching me. I want to make sure this movie did well. I feel like my direction, and I want to make sure it really had those horror movie Easter eggs. If you saw any, let me know down in the comments. But yeah, I think this movie I think it deserves to be definitely number one, because I feel like this is the slash movie that the horror genre has been waiting for. Because this year like horror has been, well, I won't say dead, but there's a couple times where horror has just where horror has, I guess, yeah, been dead a couple times this year with Slender Man and all that. It's been a couple times, but now horror is back, and it's back with this vengeance, with this new brand of slasher that the whole genre needs. It's like that's the Stalker. And but yeah, I just feel like it's Isaac is just so damn great, and Jack Buddy as cinematography is just so as cinematographer is just so damn like his cinematography is just so beautiful. Like he does these like long wide takes. One thing in particular that I wanted him to do is when the conversation was going down between me and the Stalker, and probably in the middle point of this short film, it's like that whole conversation that goes down. He asks me like horror trivia questions. I want to make sure that those shots that are set up all the same way, so that looks like it's a conversation going back and forth. I want to make sure, because if it's shot different ways, it just kind of takes it out of that conversation. But I also wanted to make sure there was a conversation to really build the relationship with each other, and you can see what Stalker's connection is with my character. And I feel like just my character, like from the moment it does start, like in the first couple of seconds of it, you really have just learn so much about my character, and you just root for him until the final shot, up until that final jump scare. You learn so much about my character, and you just learn so much from my character, just from the way just from the way the shots are set up, from the way I talk, from my fear, from my facial expressions, from like the fear that's dwelling inside me. Just you can feel how scared I am in this situation. I feel like I want to, because since I'm passionate about horror, and I love slasher. I mean, I have a whole shelf of horror. Obviously, I mean, I'm a big fan of horror. I mean, my favorite horror subgenre is slasher. I feel like if the main character does not work, the whole movie doesn't work. So I really want to make that fear come into play, and it's actually make it sure I look scared. It actually looks like I'm petrified throughout it. And I feel like that's like a terrific performance for me, along with like the way just like I direct scenes and I craft this movie, and just the way like the whole conversation between me and the stalker uh, goes back and forth, and and just you learn just so much. You learn so much about my character through different ways. You don't learn it from just normal character development. You learn the character development through the fear, through the cinematography, from my facial expressions, from the lines that I say. You learn just so much about my character. I feel like until that final jump scare, you are rooting for me. You want me to get out of this. You want me to get out of this situation. You want me to get away from the stalker. You want me to kill the stalker. You want me to defeat him and all that. And I feel like that's how my character is so damn strong. And this movie is the fear that he's showing. It makes sure, and also I did not want this to be a character-driven story. I also wanted this to be a movie that the audience can get involved in. I want to make sure the audience are on this roller coaster as well, and that I want them to put their minds in my situation and say, that's what I'll do as well. Because, especially when I was writing the script, I was thinking of, what would I do in this situation? If someone was really stalking me, if someone was really doing this stuff to me, what would I do? And I think the stuff I do in this short film, you can't say I would not do it. Because because two words, home protection, baby. That's what you would not want to do. You would want to protect your house. You would want to have the upper guard against the stalker. And yeah, I feel like just like the music, just the way it's built up, it has this very low note, but when it begins, and then it just gets more intense as each set of music plays. I feel like it just builds the intensity of the intensity of the scene, and just that's, I feel like the music, that's what gets the audience like so involved, is just the way I feel like it's shot, and just the way the music is just really built up, gets me like the audience is so involved in the movie. And that's what I wanted everyone to put their mindset into my character and say they would do the same choices as I made in this short film. But yeah, I mean, yeah, just Isaac, like dude, if you're watching this, man, you are terrific, man. I mean, you were great to have on set. Jack, but you were great to have on set. Jake Downs, my boy, you were also great to have on set as well. I mean, even though Jacob Downs said he got cut from the movie, I can't really talk about it or show you, but just know it's a very gruesome scene, very brutal to watch. It's disturbing, actually, very disturbing. That's probably the word I would use. But yeah, I feel like it's my direction, the way I craft these scenes together, the way I want to, because I'm not just a director, I'm also the director of cinematography, so I tell Jack Bay on how all these shots set up, and I want to make sure it's a conversation that flows, that it feels like it's back and forth. It's not just because if it's a different take and the shots like set up in different places, it's just like, yeah, this conversation is not flowing. I want to make sure it follows when it's a back and forth conversation. And yeah, I'm very happy with it. I think I've really made a change in the whole genre, and I feel like The Stalker is a big achievement. I feel like I've came into the whole genre. I've done what I've wanted to do. I just want to make what I want to make, and I feel like it's made a big difference in the whole genre. I cannot appreciate my crew enough. Isaac, Jack Batty, Jacob Downs, my boys, you guys are great and you are valid members of Dove Studios. Jack Batty, you were a great cinematographer. Like, I would love to bring you back for another Dove Studios production short film. Isaac, you always come on, dude, you're the stalker, man. I mean, oh my god, this is very kind of embarrassing to say, but yeah, you guys are just freaking badasses. I mean, just Isaac, I cannot say enough about this guy. I mean, he owns the role as the stalker, and he's actually directing the next Stalker movie called The Search for the Stalker. There's already a trailer up if you want to check it out. It's on my channel, or it's on the official Stalker YouTube channel if you want to go subscribe to that channel as well. But yeah, I mean, everybody just did a great job. I feel like the way I crafted scenes was great, the way I directed Isaac and Jacob Downs. I feel like I wanted to make sure, because like when I make short films, I always try to direct like it's the last day I'm ever shooting a film, and like it's the last day, like this is like always try to like direct like it's my last day on earth. I try to just direct the shit out of films. I try to just make that intensity just rise and build that suspense. I also want to make it a really suspenseful movie as well. And soon you'll have the Stalker Unread extended cut coming in 6 days, because today is New Year's Eve. So yeah, happy New Year's, people as well. I hope you have a good one. Because in 6 days you'll be getting the Stalker Unread extended cut. More blood, more action, more Stalker. Yeah, man, it's I cannot wait to bring that to you, because it's going to be one hell of a ride, because there's more footage than you can purpose to get. It's a lot of fun. I cannot wait to present that to you guys. But I feel like I've really made a change in the whole genre, and I can not be more happier. But yeah, anyways, yeah, that is my top 10 best horror movies of 2018. Even though I feel like it was number one, I was kind of cheating a bit because it's my film. I feel like I was kind of cheating a little bit. But yeah, I feel like it had to have a place on this list, because it deserves it. What Isaac did, what Jack Buddy did, what I did. Like, everybody had their time on set. Like, Jack Buddy had his time, Isaac had his time, and Jacob Downs, he had his time and all that. So yeah, for like, yeah, anyways, yeah, they're my top 10 best horror movies of 2018. This video is already gone for like 52 minutes now. It's freaking insane how long I've been talking about all these movies for. But anyways, yeah, it's going to be a long night editing. But anyways, yeah, they're my top 10 best horror movies of 2018. Pop it down to the comment section down below and let me know what are your top 10 best horror movies of 2018, and also what are your top 10 best and top 10 worst movies of 2018. I'm still trying to figure out that list, because there were a lot of okay films this year. There weren't a lot of great movies. So it's very hard for me to figure that list. But yeah, if you have your top 10 best, top 10 worst, pop down to the comments, let me know. So anyways guys, I hope you have a good rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next video.